When we look on X, we could think that Ethereum is slowly dying. And we have all the reason to think that because big funds like Elixir are selling thousands of ETH, and 5,000 ETH are currently valued around 13 million US dollars. This is as much as Elixir sold. We have seen Wintermute selling ETH, which was much more, even almost 15,000 ETH. So we really see big outflows from the funds. Why are they doing this? And in this episode, I will try to explain to you what is happening in short term in Ethereum. Why are these funds so bearish? Why are they selling like Amber here as well, 8,000 ETH or 20 million US dollars? But I will also show you further in the end of this video, first of all, the long-term prediction for Ethereum. And I will show you another coin which has been performing much better than Ethereum recently. And I will also compare these two on why this coin is performing so much better at the moment. So if you look forward to this video, make sure you hit the like button right now. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. It's free and it really helps me out to keep going and create new good content for all of you guys. And before this Focus Ethereum episode is fully starting, I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for the support that you give me. I have recently crashed, like pumped through the 400 subscribers, and yeah, I mean, this is what I do. I just I'm passionate about crypto, and I really want to give and share ideas with you. And the more people that join me here on my journey, the more happy I am in doing more content. I just came back from holiday, and I promise if you subscribe, you will get more frequent updates again the upcoming months. But yeah, this being said, let's go into Ethereum and why it's crashing and what the long-term outlook could be. Actually, the whole discussion became much stronger recently when Vitalik was frequently seen with a woman. And many people that never believed that Vitalik, who has given his whole energy to Ethereum, could go this road of becoming a ladies' man, right? And people have been talking about this intensively on X. This is from 7th of August, so already 3 weeks ago that this was talked about, and that's where the sentiment around Ethereum got really bad. And yeah, people have been saying that before he was with this woman, he has done eat, sleep, Ethereum repeat, and he was giving his whole life energy, and people even say his sexual energy, all to Ethereum, right? So he created the second best coin after Bitcoin, and he was the no-fabstronaut power that he was using, retaining his semen. This is yeah, the hyper autism and everything that Vitalik did. And now it is eat, sleep, release, semen repeat, because obviously he has a woman that he is also giving some of his sexual energy to, and not only Ethereum. And since then, a lot has been talked, and we have discussions ongoing about Ethereum no longer being the ultra sound money many people said, or the Ethereum, the ETH maxis said that ETH would be. And yeah, so August is the worst month in terms of fees generated on Ethereum mainnet since early 2020. For instance, this is what Thor Hadvigsen writes here, and Hardvigsen says, also puts out some graphics here, so it's a very interesting 5 minutes read. You see that since the blobs went live in March, and blobs, if you forgot, that are these was the Denkun upgrade, which enabled that transactions on L2s became much cheaper because of these blobs that were only temporary storing data, and the transactions written on the main chain, they become much cheaper because of less content that they contain. So therefore, the fees in general for both the mainnet and the L2s went down. For the L2s, obviously, because it goes through the blobs now, and for the mainnet, because there are less transactions just documented on Ethereum in general. And this trend that you see here in the graphic shows this very well. You see that the fees have been strong, have been very, very high. This was just before the upgrade, and then they really decreased very steadily, actually, to be at only 2 free GWI recently, and that's nothing we have seen for years. I think he says here since 2020, and that's, I believe that sounds very valid to me. And in this graphic, you also see down here the emissions. So emissions are negative, and fees are positive. It's kind of weird. Maybe you could have also done this the opposite way. But yeah, where it crosses this line here of 0 means that Ethereum became inflationary again. And if we look at ultrasound money since the merge, we had a good time of Ethereum becoming less and less on the market, but now the total supply growth is only slightly negative at 0.1%. So that's nothing. We have not even burned 1 million, and we have released almost as many ETH over the last year. So this is what is happening right now. Ethereum is inflationary again. If you look here, since the burn, this is since burn started, so it almost looks stable when you zoom out, basically. And 5 minutes, yeah, you see 1% per year if we increase at this rate. If we keep increasing at this rate, it's 1% supply increase, inflation per year. It's still better than fiat currency, right? But still, it is pretty bad now, so to say. Let's maybe compare it to Bitcoin. So it's very, very similar to the new rate of Bitcoin now after the supply cut, after the last halving. So yeah, you can clearly see here 30 days, and yeah, and since the merge. So this is what many are seeing, and I will tell you in a moment why this is the case. So, I mean, I already talked about the blobs, but there is also another reason, because the blobs have been a necessary invention to make Ethereum future-proof in a way. But yeah, what is happening? So to tell you even more about, even the Ethereum Foundation knows the current situation of Ethereum, and they usually sell the top, many say, but in the end, they have been selling many times in the history, and they are not doing this because they don't believe in Ethereum. They're doing this because they also need money. And it seems, and this is the only concerning part about it, that the Ethereum Foundation is not sure whether the price of Ethereum in the future be that high. So it could be that they expect it to even decrease further from here, to have a bigger crash where they don't want to need to sell ETH at this point. So they sell rather now to say, hey, we have secured our $94 million for now, which means that they can use this money and have a runway for a while until they have to sell ETH again to further finance their things. And apart from that, our new ladies man, Vitalik Buterin, he has actually also sold 800 ETH. Doesn't sound a lot, right? But it's still $2 million that he sold just today. And I mean, obviously, Vitalik got a lift from something, right? So whenever you as well cash out your 2 mil again, you can think it's I mean, it's okay, right? Vitalik has a lot of ETH, and it's good that he also gets a bit out. First of all, because he has been putting so much energy into this project and into this industry, and second of all, because it's actually better if these big parties have less skin in the game. So ETH gets even more decentralized in the long run. So let's check it out quickly, what the difference is to Bitcoin. And we have seen Bitcoin crashing 10% the last month. It all came along with this Japanese carry trade that I did in my last video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Really recommend that. And at the same time, Ethereum has lost 25% almost of its, so 1/4 of its market cap. Similar Solana, but yeah, it has lost much more, or the most of the big tokens, big coins. BNB has performed much better, and there is just one exception, which is TRON, and TRON has actually gained what Ethereum lost, which is very surprising, or might be surprising for many of you. Let's look at TRON quickly. I'll also promise you this. So what is happening at TRON? TRON has launched Sun Pump, I think it's called, right? The copy of Pump.fun on TRON, and that has increased the trading activity on TRON massively. A lot of activities happening here, a lot of fees are collected in TRON, and the TRX token is burned. And this TRX has been deflationary, much more stably deflationary than Ethereum has been, and the rate of decline has increased to a level which means that in a week TRON almost loses a supply of 0.1%. So 1,000th TRONix TRX token is burned per week, which means that the demand for TRON, and maybe the story as well that it's deflationary, is growing, and TRON is in heavy use. However, and I want to say this here, I don't believe Ethereum is dead. Ethereum still is, and now let's go to the overview of DeFi Llama. Ethereum is by far the biggest chain out there. We see here the protocols, the top protocols in DeFi where value is locked directly on chain. This is outside of centralized exchanges, outside of all these retail speculations and small things that happen, or big transactions as well. But this is the real nerdy crypto, right? And in the real nerdy crypto world in DeFi, out of these top 10 protocols, only one is on TRON. It's Just Lend. It's kind of a copy of Aave on TRON. It's a fork. And everything else is Ethereum. We can look down the list. We can look down and we see Ethereum protocols all the way until 16 and 17, where we have Jito and PancakeSwap, which is also on Ethereum at this point, but which started on BNB chain. So we have these two protocols and Just Lend, which are the only major protocols here which are not native to Ethereum or which have not started on Ethereum. Some of them, like Uniswap, they are now on many chains, but this is an Ethereum native protocol, for my understanding, right? So then we can look further on chains, and on chains we also see the picture here where Ethereum is by far, and we're calculating here, yeah, you can say 6 times as big as TRON, which is number 2, which saw also an increase in the total value locked. So TRON is very successful at the moment. And then we see other players like Solana, which are minor players. I mean, Solana and BNB chains, which are the biggest competitors when you look at market cap, they are a 10th of Ethereum when it comes to the real total value locked. So I believe Ethereum still has this big advantage of being the first mover. It still is by far the biggest player, the biggest cat here in the field. Then we can quickly look also at the developers that are with Ethereum since the launch. And the trend here, I mean, is not really surprising. It's not really alarming. We saw a dip here. We saw an increase, a strong pump here. But I would say the trend still looks very strong upwards. It still looks that Ethereum is gaining traction, and the 200 devs that are working on Ethereum, they are still there. Many are deploying now, obviously, also on chains like Base or like Arbitrum. But in general, Ethereum has this biggest community of builders. And last but not least, let's look at the charts for a moment. We see here Bitcoin against ETH. And Bitcoin against ETH against Bitcoin, sorry, that's a very important chart, because we in crypto believe that Bitcoin will go up in long term. So we can always look at all our assets against Bitcoin. And we see that ETH has fallen extremely since the highs. We are down from here all the way to where we are right now, 50%. So you would have more Bitcoin if you kept your Bitcoin during this period. Usually this reverses at one point. We just don't know when. And I already drew here an horizontal line, because Ethereum historically has a lot of support in this area, also a bit lower maybe at these highs here. Yeah, this is the area where we should, if ETH goes even further down, we should see it stuck around here a bit and then move eventually up, if we are not at the bottom yet, because it could also be that this is already the bottom against Bitcoin. Maybe quickly we also look at the US dollar chart, because many people are looking at that, right? They are aiming to increase their fiat balance, which is kind of weird. But and here, this is very important to say, we see this triangle, and the triangle that we see is a rising wedge. It's rising because of these higher lows, and it hasn't really been filled yet. So this is very long term. You see, I'm looking weekly, so it's very long term to say, not for traders who want to trade every week or every day and make profit with it. It is rather for people who invest in crypto because they want to keep it. And there you see that this triangle is not filled yet. Usually it fills a bit more, but we should around this area probably see a breakout. And this breakout can happen in all different directions, like down or up, right? But usually people, chart technique people are measuring this way. They take this, they say this is the flag or the line, that the height of this triangle. And then when we break out somewhere here, this is how high we can go. And then you see if we break to the upside during this cycle, we'll go eventually to $15,000. And that's what I all wish you. I wish you that you have your bags ready when we go to 15,000. It's not financial advice, but I hope to see you again here on my channel. And I wish you all the best. Your Alex.